Hey, what's going on, man? This is Will Z Titwell with Skybox Conversations, baby. Hogs win, Woo Pig, Suey, baby. Arkansas win a close game today against Mississippi State by the tune of 93-92. Man, key to a lot of the key things. Billy Richmond getting the key block at the end. A dude knocking down a big free throw. DJ Wagner being that leading scorer with 24 points, 7 for 9 from the field. Hitting all 7 of his free throws, like just big things happening in this game across the board. It was a beautiful thing to see. But what I really want to talk about is that Arkansas is a dangerous team if you really think about it, because the SEC is such a bloodbath that we're at number 9 in the SEC out of 16, 16, 18 teams. We're number 9 in the conference. We started out the conference play 0-5. We finished 8-9, if I'm not mistaken. What did we finish? We finished 8-10. That's not terrible, right? That's not terrible. And our first matchup is going to be against South Carolina. Now, this is a tricky game coming up in the SEC tournament when we talk about first matchup, because South Carolina has some confidence that they can beat Arkansas because of what took place the last time that we played them. You know, they mollywopped us, right? But when I made the video saying that Arkansas, stinks, of course I said this before. I wasn't literally saying that they suck. I was saying that you couldn't blame Coach Cal for the ball not going in the rim. And to be honest, that day the ball just wasn't going in the rim. Yeah, we played bad. Yeah, effort wasn't there. Yeah, we couldn't stop Murray Bowles or Murray Bowles, however you say his name. You couldn't stop he's a lottery pick, right? He had 35, but the ball wouldn't go in. And so they're gonna have some confidence coming into that game. But at the same time, we should have we have even more confidence because we've beat some very good teams, right? And if we come in locked in and focused, like we did today, like we did against Texas, like did against the Michigans of the world, we can beat the shit out of South Carolina, right? But it depends on how we come into the game. So we finished the season 19-12 overall with an 8-10 mark in the SEC, which again isn't terrible. The SEC is a bloodbath. It's a hard conference. So we floating around that Ole Miss. Matter of fact, let me just look at the standings. I can just look at them real quick and see what's what. All right, so right now we are floating around. You serious? We are floating around. We are floating around the Georgias, Vanderbilts, Mississippi State. We're in that mix, right? And the main reason we're on the 9th seed is because I think we split one with. No, we beat Georgia. We beat Georgia. We beat Georgia. So I wonder how that works. Mississippi State, we beat them today, made them 8-10. Missouri is 10-8. Kentucky is 10-8 in that part of the equation, right? Again, we're playing South Carolina first, who is currently dead last, right? LSU is right above them, Oklahoma right there next. So that's not a bad matchup, if I'm being for real. Like we can go in and beat South Carolina, right, and take care of them, and win in the tournament can do good for us for our overall resume when it comes to the NCAA tournament. But I think we should be able to get in, because one of the key things that I said a few weeks back was that Arkansas would be okay if they can win. I think it was when we was going to play Auburn. So how many games was left? Auburn, there was 6 games. I said we can go 4-2 or 3-3 at the worst. We're going to be okay. So we lost to Auburn. That was 0-1. We beat Missouri 1-1. We beat Texas 2-1. We lost to South Carolina 2-2. We beat Vanderbilt, and then we beat Mississippi State 4-2. 2 quad one wins back to back with the Vanderbilt and the Mississippi State wins. Right. So that should get you in the tournament, but being able to go get another win, even though South Carolina doesn't really move the needle as far as like the strength of the competition, is still a great win if you can go take care of business, right, and not give them confidence, despite what happened a few weeks ago. Because I feel like I'm not gonna say it was a fluke, but it was just a weird day. It was just a bad day, and Coach Cal kind of said it when he was like, "We were due for a dud," right, and that's what it was. It was a dud. It was a dud, man. But the real point here is that Arkansas is a threat. If we can win that game, then you probably go up against a higher seed. Then you might end up playing like, you know, a Missouri. You might end up playing you might end up playing like a Missouri, or you might end up playing a Kentucky, right? A Texas A&M. You might play a Tennessee. So, right. So then that second round, you're starting to play somebody like that, and it's gonna be a tough game, but that's a winnable game as well. I feel like majority of the games, even that we lost, besides a handful, we were in the game, right? And we even had a chance to win those games, and it just came down to certain things at the end where we just didn't execute. But I'll say this: if we can get that version of Jonas Adu, right? The one that gave us, if I'm not mistaken, what did he give us today? 21 and 10 and hitting clutch free throws. We're one of the top teams in the country. If you get Trevor Brazile to hit the corner three, to crash the boards, to be a pest defensively, to use his length, to be who he was in Maui when he was under Musselman, that's when I realized he's a bucket. If you can be that and go back to being the lottery pick in the NBA that you were supposed to be, this is a scary team. DJ Wagner, you giving us 24 now. Again, you might not go 7 for 9 every night, right? But I do think he has the capability to have good nights. And I've said this before, and people didn't, and I've said one of the coaches or the parents of the AAU team, my coach here, said it himself that we play better without Boogie Flynn, and we do right now. Is that mean Boogie Flynn is not great? He's a lottery pick, right? But he's ready for the NBA, and the ball sticks with Boogie Flynn versus we're able to kind of get multiple things going, right, with this team. And so it's just different. It's just different, man. We play better without Boogie Flynn. I'll even say this: I think there's been room for Brazil to breathe without the arrow being in there. Now I'm not going to sit here and say you don't need the arrow. I'd be crazy to say that, but it has opened up things for other players, if that makes sense, right? It's opened up things for Brazil, right? Boogie Flynn having to sit out opened up thing for John L. Davis. It opened up thing for DJ Wagner. And I think if we can get these versions of these guys, right? And again, get multiple dudes to play at a high level in the same game. I'm not gonna be unrealistic and say all 5 guys have to do it, but you need at least three options that can score for you, and you need everybody locked in on a string defensively, right? And I think a play like what Billy Richmond did here tonight is you know epitomizes what this team needs, and the energy, and the type of dog he is, and the type of energy we need to make a deep run, right? Not only in the SEC tournament, but in the playoff, in the NCAA tournament, right? And so, man, we're a scary team, and I feel like we can make some noise in the SEC tournament, right, and do some damage, and make some people respect us, even more than they already do. And then if you get into the NCAA tournament, there's rumblings that we could be like an 11 seed, 12 seed type of deal. You go play the right team on the right day, I think we can go beat them, right? Because in my mind, if I'm doing a mock in my mind, matter of fact, no, it's no point. It's no point. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do bracketology and see where things are right now. All right, because if we're a number 9, let me see. All right, so the tournament was going to start today. Arkansas is currently at an 11. We on the upscale, as you can see, because of the win today. And we would currently be matched up with St. Mary's. Now I did a little bit of research around St. Mary's, and they're number 1 in the WCC. So that's the conference with Gonzaga, Oregon State. Not a very strong conference, right? A conference that Gonzaga used to actually dominate. But in recent years, Gonzaga hasn't really been that good, if I'm being honest, especially since what's his name that used to do thing when he dunked. I can't think of his name right now. But like they haven't been that good since that squad, right? And so they've dominated that. They won a championship in the WCC. They're 27-4. They got shooters. They spread the floor very well. They actually play pretty good defense. But some things that in which we could, dictate is being able to close out on shooters, being disciplined, understanding assignments, picking up 94 feet, making it really hard for them to even get a lot of open shots, set shots. Obviously, no zone, right? And then being able to take in and break them down in the half court as well, and getting out and run and making them have to run with us. I think if we're able to do those things, we could be successful, right? In a potential matchup with a team like this. But I think the bigger point here is what I'm saying is that this team can be dangerous because I would take Arkansas in a 6 matchup with St. Mary's. You see what I'm saying? Like I would take Arkansas in a matchup with Utah with somebody like all right, I could take them with like a Michigan, right? I could take them against a motherfucking a Creighton. Like just to say like I believe in them against certain teams like that. And if we can get matched up with a team like that, I think we can get out of the first round, go to the second round, maybe even make it to like the Sweet 16, which would be a pretty damn good achievement for this Arkansas team. But I think, it's March, man. Anything can happen, right? And we're a dangerous team. We're a dangerous team, and there's no denying that. And we're getting hot at the right time. And so it's just something to keep your eye on, man, when it comes to this Arkansas team is that if certain dudes can step up consistently, if Trevor Brazile can keep being who he's being, if Badu can be who he was in this Mississippi State win, right? If DJ Wagner can keep running the ship, right? If these young dudes, Richmond and Knox, can keep coming in, giving you valuable minutes and energy and effort and defense, and Cal is coaching his ass off, and so that matters. That matters, and it's just something to pay attention to. And I'm looking forward to it, man. So SEC tournament finna get ready to start up, man. Hell of a win to end the season, hell of a run to end the season. Of course, you want to go 6-0, right? You didn't want to start 0-5, but man, the SEC is hard, man. The SEC is hard, and I think Auburn learned that today as well, with Alabama hitting them in the gut. So, I mean, the SEC is tough. It's tough, man. It's a beautiful conference, but it's tough. But I'm looking forward to seeing what comes about next, man. Definitely gonna bring back more content and talk about the other headlines when it comes to Arkansas and the SEC and men's basketball in general. So I love y'all so much, man. Be sure to like, subscribe to this video. Until the next one, man. Peace.